Now, out of all the boycotts, 6 years ago, Target would have been the only one that I disagreed with ideologically because I firmly believe that a store has the right to sell whatever they want if it's legal, right? So the correct thing would be for people not to buy it. Don't like it, don't buy it. That was the thing that I believed 6 years ago, but unfortunately, as I mentioned in my previous videos, I do not set the rules. I do not make the patch notes. Just like you and I play the meta. And the meta is that companies have a responsibility towards their community. We are now in the age of stakeholder capitalism. ESG is important. Environmental, social, and governance. And social, it seems that people are upset because not due to promoting LGBT things, but I mean, come on, what is this? Pride for babies. I mean, and then they also had a couple of interesting things with Satan respects pronouns, and of course they keep saying that this is the conservatives that are upset. I don't think Orthodox Jewish people enjoy seeing the fact that satanic merchandise is being on display. I don't think that Muslim people are either. Like any person that's religious probably doesn't appreciate the fact that you're talking about. I mean, if you were to put Hitler respects pronouns, no one would have been Pikachu face if they would see that left-leaning people are boycotting. And of course, left-leaning people wouldn't boycott by not going there. Left-leaning people would boycott by pressuring banks, by pressuring advertisers, by pressuring people on the higher up in order to stop doing business with the store in question. So this is why the conservative boycotts are so fascinating, because they're legitimately grassroots. I know that the left is trying to say, well, Tucker Carlson is puppeteering, Matt Walsh is puppeteering. No. Okay, like Matt Walsh can barely convince people to click on the subscribe button. I, as a YouTuber, can barely convince people to give us super thanks or whatever. Like the idea that we could actually puppeteer people is very bizarre. I mean, we would puppeteer them to do other things first and foremost. But, it is what it is. I mean, if you want to cope, do cope. As I mentioned before, the left vehemently believes that without people like Tucker Carlson, Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, everyone would vote for Obama. This is legit. Like, think about it. This is legitimately what they believe. That if it wasn't for right-wing talking heads, everyone would vote for Obama. People do not have these issues naturally. They're not upset now. No. Now, when it comes to the woke ideology, it's very interesting because it is, I believe, in decline. It grew, with the concept of equality, but now they move from equality into equity, and people do not support equity. Like, in the beginning, it was what happens in my bedroom is none of your business, but now it's like, let me stuff my bedroom down your throat. And when I say this, I'm talking about coming with ideologies where you're basically suggesting that teachers should be the second parents, and they should have as much right to educate the child as the parent, and the child should be the property of the state. This is what is being implied. I mean, I remember when parents initially protested, and they were called, they were threatened with the FBI, the Homeland Security. It was like, oh my God, the parents are terrorists. Well, when you do things like this, you're not going to get the conservatives upset, the moderates as well, because I'm legitimately curious how many people are boycotting. I genuinely do not think it's just conservatives. I do believe that it may be even apolitical people and moderates that are partaking in these boycotts. And when you look at, the way the culture is going, to the point where you have Disney, like, stepping in and saying, oh, well, Florida legislator, let me tell you how things are done. Let me show you what we can do to you. It's like, okay, well, now corporations are political entities, right? And if companies are political, then people are going to vote with their wallets. I mean, you literally decided this. You decide, like, there was a time where people said, no, like, a company shouldn't be political. They should just sell product. And you had the left going, it's like, no, everything is political. Well, okay, if everything is political, good luck doing business. Because it turns out that conservatives have money too. And when you talk about inclusivity, which literally means like purging all of the conservatives from that space, well, they're going to purge their cash as well. And it's not very profitable. Now, in the case of Target, I would like to point out the main reason that I believe they're getting boycotted is not because they had some merchandise that was offensive. Because they could have still came out and said, look, we're a store, we're allowing everything if it's legal, right? Unfortunately, they don't do that because in the past, I'm pretty sure, like, if you want to put the Confederate flag or, you know, like, what do Americans have that's offensive? If you want to put something offensive in Target, I bet that they're going to take it down, right? So they decided to be a publisher. Well, when you're a publisher, you become responsible. So they decided to do this, and now these are the consequences. But I would believe that when the CEO made the non-apology and said that, okay, well, you guys notice that we have some apparel, but we always supported the LGBT community, right? Like, not naming what the apparel was, which was by, I believe it was by an actual Satanist, like someone who considers themselves to be, not an insult, putting up t-shirts like destroy the system, you know, CIS, which is a slur. Satan respects pronouns on children's t-shirts and shit like that, you know, like that's what people were upset with. Because you gotta wonder, you know, like MSLSD and the Clown News Network and all the other publications, they're just saying, oh, conservatives are targeting LGBT companies. And it's like, okay, but like all the companies are LGBT. Why are they targeting these particular ones? Like, why these ones in specific? And when you look into it, you notice that there were cases where they either insulted their customers, insulted their clientele, called them fratty, out of touch, right? Like, this is the reason. And in this situation, the CEO says, our employees are getting harassment. I'm sorry, what? Like, where? They didn't post anything. No police reports, nothing. Customer feedback is not harassment, okay? I just want to point out. So I guess, like, the customers who can't help but harass their employees with their feedback decided to shop somewhere else. Now you're the people working at Target aren't getting any harassment. You should be happy. Apparently not, because they say that several stores in the rural South have now reportedly hidden and toned down the Pride section, and staff members at Target headquarters are said to have held an emergency meeting to avoid what they call a Bud Light situation. Like, it's so ingrained into the minds of the people that is now called a Bud Light situation. In a statement last week, CEO Brian O'Connell announced the company had pulled some items, had received complaints about specifying that they have been at the center of the most confrontational behavior. Since introduction of this year's collection, we've experienced threats impacting our team members. Well, yeah, but now you're not getting any threats. Now you're not getting any customers either. Look at this shit. Look at it. You're happy now? No one is complaining. Everyone is happy. Why are you still upset? So anyway, let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.